Broadcasting straight from the top, X-TowerFM, brought to you by your hosts, Sapphire Blaze, Juice BBA, and Blade Bay X.
Sounds fun.
I had a lot of fun playing it. I still have fun playing it just because I fucking love Monster Hunter so much. And I love just going mad with my dual blades and just dodging shit and slashing shit up. But it does look like ass at the moment online. And
Fair enough.
when I was playing last night, I was just trying to get hunts done of. So they've released a hunt where you can go for the flagship monster for this one during this beta. But
Cool.
it's like a bit more of a challenging setting because you're like super low rank stuff, all your equipment's ass, and they only give you 20 minutes to hunt it. So ideally you drop in and you get 3 people join you, or you join someone else's, and it gets a full party of 4 and everyone can just be on it from the start. But it seems like, I mean, it's a good thing in the long run for this for the franchise, but it seems like jumping on this beta right now, there's a lot of people who haven't played Monster Hunter before, and I couldn't get a single hunt finished because everyone just kept fucking carting, just fucking dying like constantly, man. They give your team five deaths for the Arkveld, 5 whole fucking deaths, and yeah, just people just fucking getting crushed by it. So after like, I don't know, something like 8 attempts where we're right at the end and like people on the team just keep carting, I was like, fuck it, I'm gonna play Yu-Gi-Oh for a couple hours instead.
Was it only random who you could be sorted with, or could you be with anyone?
You
Or
can make a
it could only be with
party, you can connect to some people,
Okay.
but most of the people that I play like Monster Hunter with are all in the UK. So like time-wise, it's a bit of a funny one. Plus, they actually have to have downloaded the beta and stuff.
Yeah, right.
Is that a wild juice?
Hey girls, what are we doing?
Or first thing I think to have a quick chat about, it seems like a few days old now, but we haven't really spoken about it. But how the fuck did all of these like CX fucking leaks happen? All of it, all of the Fox Bay is just out, isn't it? Everything about the system, like videos of it. Who is the dude that got the product early and just uploaded all these videos? Because they're not even like shy about it.
That's a good question.
It's definitely a Chinese channel, right? I mean, the language in it is Chinese. I couldn't tell you which particular one, but I don't know if it's because they're made in Vietnam, right?
Yeah.
You'd think leaks could possibly come from there, but the language isn't Vietnamese, so I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of those funny ones. I'm sure being where it is, because I'm quite close to there where I am now, it's very chill. I'm sure people are just walking in and out of the factory, so it might not be that surprising, really, that everything gets leaked because they just wander in and be like, "Oh, I'll take one of these." It's probably just some around, but it just seems mad to me because, like, for every release so far, there's been early leaks and people just putting this stuff up like unabashedly. But I was super surprised. I assumed that we would see some pictures and like, oh, is this real? Isn't this the real one? Do you think this is the right system? But this has to be it from what we've seen, right? This is just the CX system, hybrid wheel, gear chip, metal wheel, and then ratchet and bit as we've had so far.
Absolutely, yeah.
What you've seen is what you're getting.
Yeah.
I think that the strange thing about it is that this isn't even like a next month's release. Is this meant to be the May release?
Yeah, it's further down the line.
Yeah, like it's like why, like we've not seen anything from like, well, as far as I'm aware, we've not seen anything from what's coming out just next month. But like the fact that we're getting
not from
something
TT.
like this leaked really far in advance. Well, yeah.
Not through an official channel. Like, so before I say anything about it, what do you guys think about the Fox Bay and how it looks?
I'll let Sapphire start.
Okay. I think the gear chip design is peak. I'm a big Fox fan, and I like how they're going. I like that's the thing with we know this is the random select, but I like how they're not doing again like, oh, there's the anime one and there's a black one and there's a white one. At least this time there's a gold version. I guess with Shelter Drake we got traffic light colors. Um,
Mm.
but for the blading system itself, I think it looks interesting enough. I'm just curious to see how it affects the weights of bays going forward. Like, I don't want it to be a massive like power creep thing, but at the moment, it looks like it's not going to be like meta shattering. But I guess it really depends on what the other parts that we get are and how it affects everything when it's all
How
together.
it all mixes up, yeah. What about you, Juice? How do you feel about Fox?
There's a fox in it.
It's not
I
wrong.
find it very cool. I do like it. I do like the it's very Leon Crest-ish, but aggressive in shape.
Yeah, they've reversed
Right.
it.
I do like their idea of what they're doing for the switching of the gear chips, which is what, in my opinion, we should have had that from the beginning. But I'm glad it's happening now. I
Yeah,
feel
it's
like
like
it looks
bringing
like
bringing
it's
back.
gonna and just having that customizability.
Do
Just
you
with,
think
you can have the gold blade with the black fox, or if you want it, or whatever.
I'm pretty certain they won't allow it, but do you think they would allow you to have 3 different recolors of a gear chip for your deck? Like all 3 foxes as gear chips in
I
your
don't
deck?
think
It
they.
is.
No. Oh,
I'm pretty
That's
sure it's a
that's
no,
an
I feel
interesting
like
but
point.
I don't think it would
it's
matter. I
interesting.
feel like it's just the blade. The blade would probably be the priority because yeah, the rules are gonna have to change because I feel like it's gonna burst maybe easier, and it's gonna burst even worse because the chip's probably gonna go flying.
I don't know if
You're
the blade and
Mm.
the plastic and the chip are going to be bursting at all. I mean,
You don't think?
I don't think it'll be an intentional mechanic for that to happen anyway. I think if that happens, it's because something's broken and malfunctioned. Like,
Right. So, like the
Yeah,
bit and the ratchet
no
are
luck
like
that'll
they're
happen.
made to burst.
yeah,
They're intended to burst, but like I don't know if they'd make like
Oh,
the
you're
whole thing.
right.
That'd just be a pain to put everything back together if the whole
yeah.
thing exploded.
I think it's
Well,
like,
does
you
the
know,
gear chip
like
not have to lock in for everything to
it
like?
does, but yeah, I think it's just literally like a bolt for those 2 parts, the plastic wheel and the blade to like be like fused together then. Like if you think about like MFB, if they took the track and the performance tip
Right.
and made that separate to the blade and the 2 wheels, sorry, the metal wheel and the plastic wheel, if they were 2 separate entities that attached together like that, it would kind of be more
Well,
like that than like them all interlocking all of them together.
right. What if they do the plastic
What,
plastic and if
separation?
I know if the bit piece fell off in battle,
Yeah,
you'd
that's called
lose. That was like in the
separation.
early rule
Yeah,
set.
yeah.
So what if the gear
Oh,
chip
goodness.
pops out? Like it doesn't burst, but the gear chip can still pop out somehow.
It'd be interesting. I think the problem with that then is if you introduce another way to lose. I think the best thing about X is there's not too many feel bad losses other than like self KOs off the X rail. If you get burst,
Right.
it never happens, but it's not, no blade, no combo, nothing is like so bad that it's just exploding with not like you're not feeling bad from your burst too often really with X. Like someone's gonna argue like Goon on Elevate or something like that. It's not true though, because that's still the most dominant combo in the meta right now. So it's obviously not bursting more than
Mhm.
it's winning. But yeah, I think it would be very risky for TT to introduce an extra component that bursts on the bay and still be able to avoid the feel bads that I imagine burst kids felt like in early burst when their teeth wore out on their blades and stuff.
When they bursted after one hit.
Yeah, like because we don't really have that bad of a feeling with X, do we? Like I think they've made the right choice. We said from the beginning of X, it makes so much more sense having like the burst resistance on the bit, the collar, and the
Yeah.
stuff like that. And time would tell if it worked. And like 2 years down the line, all of my bits still have pretty good burst resistance and stuff. They seem about the same, you know. But if
And
gear
back
chips
to
start
the
flying out, yeah, that would be a very strong callback to like the first what like 6 months of a plastic gen. I think we're
it twists in, right? So like if you hit it hard enough, maybe it could like loosen it up. I don't know.
maybe.
It'll just
That's not impossible.
No, I'm not saying like it's
yeah.
impossible for them not to fall apart. I just don't think it will be intentional at all.
It'll be counted. Yeah, and it wouldn't be counted to anything.
No,
That'd just be unfortunate.
no. I'm
But
honestly, after seeing Fox, I'm very interested to see the other CX stuff because I honestly think Fox as the blade and stuff like that looks like it's going to be pretty weak. I don't know if it's just because like the parts are separated, it looks very light to me. I think it'll be a very recoil heavy blade just because of the orientation of like the spiky
Yeah,
kind of
there's
like
a lot of
contact
plastic on
points.
it.
That's the thing, you know. There's a lot of plastic on the
And the
metal
metal's
blade.
like a coating on the sides.
Yeah. It almost looked like that's why I was hesitant when I first saw the picture, because when you saw the blade separated, it almost looked like one of those old school fake weight discs from Plastic Gen, one of those lead cast
Yeah.
ones, and it's just held together with that shape of like some fucking plastic underneath. I think it's a combination of bad quality photos and stuff like that, but had that look like that aesthetic to me, and I was like, is this real? Is it? But yeah, it looked like one of those spiky ass weight discs that you could get down the market made out of like gold colored lead. All right.
Quality.
But
Yeah,
we're
I feel like
getting
they would allow. Can we go back to the what
yeah.
I said about having like 3 foxes on a team?
Oh
Or
yeah,
at
yeah, yeah.
least. I feel like that should be allowed because now thinking about it, you can have obviously like Transword, Buster, Dagger in a deck.
Mm.
So again, yeah, I don't think the core would matter. It's just the blade.
Yeah, I mean, it would be cool, but I've got a feeling that you're not going to be allowed to do it. If we think back to Plastic Gen, you couldn't have the same bit chip, bit beast in every
Yeah,
single
I didn't know
combo.
that.
Or a little like you could have, say, the Trigger S bit beast and like a Trigger F, and like you could have different trigger of the same line,
Right.
but you can have the same bit chip
Oh,
or stuff. So.
was Burst the same once they introduced like gear chips and the
Well, gear
like
chip
their command
of
calls?
burst, you couldn't have any of the same, could
Not
you?
gear chips, sorry.
You couldn't have any repeating
Whatever
parts.
they're called.
So,
Oh shit, right. So maybe it's gonna be the same, just no repeating gear chips.
I think it's going to be that way. It would be cool otherwise, and I'd be surprised if something like cause Juice for you, like, well, not even just for you, but a lot of the people listening, they'll probably be at WBO tournaments and stuff like that. And if they allow stickers and shit like that, then it probably makes sense for them to just allow you to play whatever gear chips you wanted in your CX combos, and it not really
Right,
make
'cause
it
you wouldn't know.
unless they release they do for most gens like a metal face kind of like version of like a gear chip for weight, and then you're probably only going to be allowed one of those in your deck.
Actually, so here's a question. So I don't know if they had it in Plastic Gen, but obviously we couldn't have the chances of having like 3 gold foxes in a deck probably wouldn't happen. But if we had each of the foxes, would that still count as the same? Because they're completely different colors.
That's what I was originally meaning. Like, could you
Uh,
have like the gold, the black, and the whatever colored fox gear chips in the same deck? I don't think you'd be allowed to, because the name of each part is what I'm kind of going on, as in repeating parts. The name of each part should be the same, shouldn't it? Whatever they designate the new naming system for CX like parts, like, unless I don't know how many remakes of like each archetype they'll make in CX, but it might just be Fox is like the gear chip, and then whatever blade you put it in is the second part, because they're making like some Buster and Hammer and like Night Lance or something CX stuff, aren't they, as well? I think I've seen from some spoilers, so it could end up being like
yeah.
Fox Buster, or like Hell Buster or Fox Hammer or something like that instead.
Right.
So yeah, I'm excited to see all the bits that they make for sure. I don't think Fox looks particularly strong. I don't think all the parts getting reprinted with it are mind blowing. Unite looks like the same, although if it doesn't have the mold line, I might give it some more testing once that one comes out.
Do you think we'll see a weight buff, or just they'll try and stay around the same?
Just looking from Fox, it looks lighter to me, you know. So
Yeah, I mean, like I'm looking at the metal on the underside.
I
I mean, I
think
can't tell just by looking, but it looks light.
I think Fox as a CX release, I don't think we should pen too much on what the Team Persona CX stuff is going to look like, because I think Fox is probably how we've all felt about, like, I don't know, some of the like Shelter coming out, like the next short select piece. It's kind of like, okay, it fits into the theme of the back of 10 shoot stuff somehow. I still don't get how it's like Gaia Dragoon or whatever yet. Shelter Drake, I'm not sure what it's meant to be exactly, but it fits into the back 10 shoot somehow. But we're not getting that many great parts re-released with it. It's an interesting blade. It's got a cool aesthetic. People are going to be buying the Silver Foxes probably for the gear chip more so than anything else we're getting in it. Right?
Well, we don't know what the anime one is going to have, because that's almost guaranteed to have at least one new Ratchet or bit with it. We just don't know what it is yet, right?
Yeah. So I guess 780 is already announced with something, isn't it? Is it Drake? It's Shelter Drake or something?
Yep.
780.
Okay, yeah, no idea what we'll get then with Fox.
You're...
285, the Ratchet everyone wants.
I think Juice and I were talking that it might be like a lower height Ratchet might get introduced.
Oh, what, like a 35? Do you think they'll go as low as 30, or they'll do like a 35 like they did 85?
I think
35 is a pretty big jump.
I don't know if I feel like what did we say? I think it was like 55 or 50.
Yeah, like they might do a 55.
Oh yeah, I don't know why I
50.
had 40 in my head then. I thought Raw Ratchet's 40, yeah, 60. So yeah, 55 makes sense. So...
Well, 85 was a massive curveball. Like no one expected that. We thought it was just going to go up to 90 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
So like that's why I guess 55 could work. Or
do you think if they did a 55, it'd be that like single piece plastic like 85 is?
Or yeah.
No, you think?
Surely.
I don't think they would.
They'd have to do some kind of mechanic, right? Or a gimmick with it.
I mean, maybe. Like, I feel like the reason that they did the 385 in that plastic was I think they thought that it would increase burst resistance compared to like the 80 height, and also because the taller you make it, obviously the heavier it's going to get, and they don't want to increase the weight too much with it.
Yeah.
So that was my theory as to why they did this design.
They made like the tallest and the lightest Ratchet at the same time. I saw I didn't even think about it until I saw a Nux video where he did the Ghost Circle combo and he used 960, then realized that 385 actually is like lighter because it's just one piece of plastic. And...
yeah, I forgot about it.
Well, I didn't even, it didn't even compute in my head when I opened the customized box. I probably weighed it and I just didn't even think about it at the time. I was like, of course that's fucking lighter. It's got no material in it. Like, I was like, yeah. But I mean, I've not used it at all really since it got released. I did use it at a tournament because I was just using parts only released that month, which was really hard. Yeah. So like, not like I didn't have access to everything that was in the customized box, just the new parts.
You bitch.
Oh, I'm sorry. What's happened to you, Juice?
Oh, cat. They keep climbing up my chair, but she just climbed up my arm and her claws just dug right into me. Oh my god.
Ouch.
Oh, bitch.
That's what you get. My cats aren't allowed in my office.
I don't get it. They can walk around. I don't get it. They just use my arm.
More convenient.
Go and get. Oh, go on. Sorry.
All right. So CX looks cool. I'm more excited to see what the other CX stuff coming out is, if I'm completely honest. Is there anything more on CX you guys wanted to talk about?
Just looking forward to the inevitable Coro leaks that are probably going to come out.
Yeah. Speaking of Coro, then, how is it being a croc owner, sir?
It's very good. I have currently 13. No, I sent one away. 12 crocs. 12 crocs.
You let it free.
I've sent it to a member, and I've got like another 11 to send off. But yeah, that's nice. It's a really beautiful blade. Yeah, it's just bite croc basically. I opened the bite croc as well, and it's even lighter than that one, which just seems to be typical for me. And like all of my metal coat blades are actually lighter than the non-metal coat versions.
Yeah.
I know.
I'm really kind of like I had this light enjoyment of the way TT are releasing what everyone was calling the Hasbro retools, because clearly they're not Hasbro retools, they're just retools, and Hasbro have released them earlier. But I like the way TT are just sprinkling them in different things in like their own little way. Talon Swing being in the customized box, it was just in there. Like No one would have guessed that. Unprompted.
And like, yeah, so they did Mammoth Tusk being like it's gonna be a rare Get battle.
Yeah. And you
thing
got
as
the
well.
Shinobi from the game. So like,
Yeah, just like let's think of the most random way to like release these
yeah.
blades out into the world.
And I know
Like,
Talon didn't, but like everything's getting like a painted treatment, and it just feels a little bit like I don't know, it feels a little bit classier. It's nice, like
and don't get me wrong, they're definitely the nicest looking versions of all those blades, except for maybe like Terra Swing. But which is funny because they were releasing a set that had like 2 other metal code bays. So
yeah.
definitely could have been
Imagine if they had just given us like 3 or 4 metal coat like bays in that set. That would have sold ridiculously well, and it probably
Oh,
did anyway.
yeah, easy money. Yeah.
Like, but just fuck it, 4 painted bays, 2 new parts, repaint of one of the most popular blades and competitive blades right now, and one I'd call Hell's Hammer like a rogue favorite. Like I like Hell's Hammer, and I think it steals some wins. Shout out to Jesus if you're listening.
Jesus is always listening.
Jesus is always listening. He's always knocking on the door. It's up
I
to you
got
if you let him in.
Jesus there.
That would have been a dope thing. TT, give us 4 painted bays in a set. Oh, they gave us 3 in the Asia set, I guess, the Dran set.
That's true. I was gonna say like maybe the anniversary set has 4 painted, if technically, but I guess like maybe the obviously the Bakutan Dragoon technically has painted parts, but I don't think the other ones necessarily do.
Not really. Like,
No, yes,
Yeah.
I love stickers.
Why didn't they give the blue metal coat or like a variation of the blue metal coat Dran sword for the anniversary set? Because surely that makes sense.
Oh,
Because
that would have made so much sense.
that's the bay he got, and it never had stickers on it. We know now from the story that it was a blue metal coat, and he's just fucking yeeted it so hard so many times that it's lost all the paint. Like if they had a blue metal coat Dran sword that had still like the blue core, the plastic, that would have been sick.
At least we get a shiny sticker.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get 2 of them too. Fucking Christ.
Oh God, no, I can't afford 2 of those.
I haven't even pre-ordered one. The cost for me to pre-order one at the moment is the price of if I had gotten 2 at the at RRP. So I'm like, nah.
Oh.
I don't know. I'll get my hands on one somehow. I'll probably have to pay through the nose later on, but it's fine.
I mean, I imagine they'll probably release them in the West, maybe. I don't know, because I mean, we're still kind of waiting on any other Bakutan Shoot remake,
Well,
right? Because there's still no confirmation of Trigger, right?
No, I mean I know that the anniversary set isn't.
Oh yeah, true.
Hang on, the anniversary set, just to confirm, isn't like a B4 thing at all, is it? I don't think that it is, but
The anniversary set was a Takara Tomy online
Mall
exclusive in Japan.
yeah.
Yeah, it's a TT Mall exclusive, but it's not a B4 store. I think so.
Yeah.
They're not selling it in shops as far as I'm aware. Although, I mean, maybe where you're from, they'd just be like all over the place.
That's
So
what
might get lucky.
That's what I'm thinking, because if it's like something like a B4 or like a TT Mall, whatever, we normally get like a release at like an event, and then it will be over the counter. So we'll probably get it at the next like row of like G2s and G1s that happen. Like it'll probably be on sale at those. At the moment, Barcelona boys are just available over the counter here. I sent you the thing like I think last week that they were coming here, and like even in Phuket here now, they're all, you can get the stadium and the hammer. The stadium and the Buster like separately, but even here in Phuket, I can go pick up the Buster starters and stuff, and no problem. Literally like 20 minutes up the road. Right. So, and that's not in an official like TT distributor either, you know. So like it's
Southeast Asia.
Yeah, like so they're like very easily available over here right now. So I've got a feeling with the anniversary sets, because if that, you guys know I spend a lot of time on like the Facebook trading pages here for Beyblade in Thailand, but if there is anything that is constantly just up for sale is all of the different Burst Generation anniversary sets, the remake sets of the back then shoot different gens. Just constantly, everyone just has those available, which makes me think they were really easy to get your hands on over here. Like, so.
Man, I still need to get
Fingers
the
crossed, yeah.
metal fight set of that.
Oh yeah,
I need that.
man. No, I mean,
And the
one.
first generation of Plastic Gen.
Oh, what the S series ones?
Because I got the V2 set, the last anniversary set that they dropped, but I haven't gotten any of the others.
The only Burst remake bay that I was super eager to get was the black Trigger S that they did in Korokoro. So, like, I made the effort to get myself one of those. Just a second
That's the one I
hand.
found in a second-hand store.
Maybe.
I think I shared it. I think I found one. Yeah, it was super cheap. It was like 200 yen.
Yeah, I don't think it. I mean, actually, if you wanted to buy one on eBay or something in the UK, it would cost you stupid money. Would you
Go back
ever?
and pick it up.
I'm not even kidding.
Wait,
You should go
What?
on to ebay.co.uk and just have a look at like what some of the plastic gen stuff goes for, because where you are
Plastic.
and like where I am, it's a completely different market. Like the price is so different, and I don't know if
Yeah.
I forget what their names are. Like shout out because you still run a great store and stuff. I think it's stuff like Classic Bays or some shop on eBay typically has like the easy grip setups and like a bunch of stuff sealed and like loads of awesome stuff. So it makes sense that
cool.
there's like a price tag on there. But I see some things, you know, that are just like random back 10 shoot bays and the price is fucking mental on them. And I'm like, dude, I can get that for like less than a quarter of whatever price they're selling it on there for. Like you're seeing bays going for over like 120 quid and you can get them for 80 baht here. So £2 something. I'm like, that's crazy.
That's mad.
So yeah, have a look on ebay.co.uk at some plastic gen stuff, and it might be worth if you're going back there for a few months to stock up on some back 10 shoot before you go.
I might piss off some nerds with this, but I'm confused. Was the Driger, you said burst or?
Do you mean you're gonna piss off the nerds by saying Driger instead of Drigger? Or
the English?
Hey, let's not
English
discriminate the accents.
sorry, bro. Mate, I'm like 32 and I still say Blades all the time. That's the one that messes me up.
Yeah, that'll slip out.
Blades.
This explains the channel name.
Bro, what was your Driger question? Sorry.
I was confused. You said you were talking about burst, and then you were talking about Dragger.
They
What were you? It was a black Dragger.
There's a Korokoro exclusive one that's
Right.
goes for a lot.
Yeah,
But
it's just
cheap.
the burst blade, but the bit chip
Okay, so it
is
was
the
the
main
burst
reason I was
blade.
keen because they did it the same as Dark Trigger from the movie Fierce Battle. So you know, like the dark versions of the base there, even though they all
I
had
don't
the
think I've seen that one. From Burst.
bro, you must.
I haven't seen it. I need to go on it.
You must have. It's nice. But yeah, I got that one. That was the one like burst bay I was like super keen to get. It's not very strong, but it looks dope. And it comes with a forge disc. I forgot what it is, but looks nice. Looks nice. Looks pretty.
I found it. Never mind. Is it?
Congratulations.
Oh, that is clean.
Well, I wanted it really badly because Takara Tomy had basically made one of my favorite combinations, and that was the black Trigger S attack ring, which I got a copy. Well, I've got the black Trigger S, but I got that and the dark Trigger bit chip together. So like it just came like that anyway, but that's like something that took me like a lot of effort to get my hands on when I was collecting plastic gen again. Yeah, one of my favorite like combinations to like throw together. Looks dope. And it just comes as standard for the TT the Burst remake.
I never seen this before. Fuck, I don't know. Do I have one in my collection? I just didn't know. I probably not because I bought a lot of lots when I was getting into Burst, but I don't think I've ever seen that before. That's sick.
Well, man, I've seen it go for like a range of prices. I got mine very cheaply, not for nothing, but like very cheaply compared to what I've seen some going for. Like I imagine there wouldn't be a lot of value on like a second-hand one like I've got, but maybe like a sealed one in the Cora box still or something. It could be pretty pricey. I've seen like, what would it have been, even like from a storefront on Lazada. I think the last thing I saw it on, it was like they were asking 8,000 baht, which is £200. So I was like, not happening. But
Is that in box?
yeah,
That's
that's one of
sealed.
them there in your picture.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah,
that was
the one next
200
to the
yen.
Warburg, sorry.
Yeah, that was 200 yen.
Yeah,
Like,
so
No shot.
that's-
It
I
was
saw it
right
and I think this
there.
looks really cool. Like,
yeah, man. That's probably my favorite Burst
I'll look on
remake.
Thursday if it's there.
Oh, and the black and gold longinus too. That one's clean.
Mm.
Bravo, you missed out on gold right there. What are you doing? Yeah, probably not there, but
It's all right, bro.
They restocked on a lot of bays since I last went, but there's always stock coming in and out.
Talking of interesting recolors, it'll bring us on to another point. What the fuck are these like Hasbro Wave 3 combos? Dran Buster, like on the bottom half
Piss
of Wizard
Buster.
Rod. But
They weigh
Yeah,
4 ones, right?
I don't know, but I
Yeah,
think it's
Wave
pretty
4.
funky. It's a pretty funky Buster Blade, not gonna lie.
Yeah, it's kind of like the
I'm not a
unicorn
fan.
sting that they did. Sting unicorn.
Yeah,
whatever.
like you could probably make a full-on little candy themed deck or something if they keep releasing
Ooh.
parts like that. But I don't know, I just found it interesting because when we got the original launch of UX, the only recolors of like Buster and Rod that existed for ages were the stadium set ones.
Right.
So it's like if Hasbro just taken Rod and Buster and split their bottom halves, and they're
They're
gonna.
taking the piss.
That's
what they're doing.
You talking about the Rod 160 Rush just being in a booster?
No, it's in a starter.
It's a starter.
I don't care too much about that. It's just a Wizard Rod stock on Buster, the same color. I'm assuming it's the same color. If
It's just
I'm
Dran
gonna be
Buster
pissed.
cosplaying as Wizard Rod.
But are the parts the same color?
What, the 570
The
and the
Ratchet?
Disc-Ball? They looked pretty similar.
Right. It's definitely Disc-Ball, and it looks like
It's definitely like
570 as well.
yellow, at least. They're definitely. I don't know if they're spot on exactly the same, but they look like they might
three
be.
yellows,
The
slightly
disc
different
ball
shapes.
looks the same, right? But they could have at least made them different colors.
Yeah, like I mean, the Ratchet and the Bit could have got along more with the Buster Blade like coloring, but I'm pretty sure were the unicorn ones just pretty standard colors, the Ratchet and the Bit. I'm trying to remember.
No, I think it had the same colors as like its gear chip and its avatar, like a pink mane type thing.
I think you might be. Oh yeah, it was point at 460 point, wasn't it? Yeah, I remember now. Yeah,
it
like
had a pink Ratchet.
yeah, that shit like kind of like suited it a bit better. But yeah, it looks like they've been pretty lazy with Buster. Giving away the Rod on Rush combo that easily though is a big positive
that's a
for
massive win for
Hasbro
Hasbro.
Bladers. That's
Just bought it. The day later this came out, I was like,
like pretty
least they got
easy
it
way
right
to
first.
replace your Rush bits and your Rod blades from practice.
Mm.
You know,
exactly.
and that those green 60s cores are very handy for recolors.
They knew what they were doing. It's dickish to put it in a starter because they weren't going to put it in a booster.
What?
But
When you say starter,
It is
do you
what it
mean
is.
it
Price
comes with
difference
a
is pretty minimal, though, right?
proto launcher?
yeah, it comes with a pro. Yeah,
Okay,
so it's going to be a little bit more.
I just think of those as boosters basically, because.
That's valid.
You remember all that shit? That would be cheaper because it comes with a smaller launcher. It's not. They just charge you more, and then they charge you separately for the launcher.
Oh gosh, stupid
Bro,
stuff.
Beyblade looked so expensive to
That's
me
why
when
I
I
said
went
they
back
knew
to
what
the
they're doing, they're
UK.
dickish.
I remember
remember
whinging
you-
so much about that.
You said you found like in London, you found a winder launcher for how much was it?
It's like $12.50 in Hamleys, mate.
$12.50. That's ridiculous. You can get a starter
Fucking
set for that
Hamleys.
price.
I know,
in
mate.
Japan.
It's mad. It's mad. Like, I don't know, bro.
And
I don't know.
Absolutely.
Everything was because everything was marked up anyway because you're in London, and then it's also Hamleys, and like, and they just had a standard.
Biggest
It was
country,
all
yeah.
just the worst part of like Wave 1. They didn't even have like all of the retools and stuff. there, and just loads of fucking like winder launchers because no one was willing to spend £12 fucking 50 on them.
I still haven't even seen them here.
Oh, what?
Launches?
The separate launchers.
Oh,
Everyone in Australia is just playing on Proto.
The little Timmies and Jimmies are that can't get the Takara stuff, but yeah, we just haven't seen them.
No, that's mad.
At least I haven't.
Yeah, I definitely, even just for like content, won't be buying one separate. So many winder launchers.
I got a pile of
But
spares
never
just
when I
sitting
need
there.
one.
Should've
It's
given
mad.
out.
If I look around my room right now, I can see tons of winder launchers around me. But the moment I need one, just to grab quickly, they've all just disappeared on me.
Vanish.
Like,
magic.
I can't find like a
That's
combination.
some Toy Story shit.
Well, the other week, there was that dude who jumped. Water has no calories from the Bega Discord. He was in Phuket, so I gave him the info for a tournament that was running that weekend. Annoyingly, and it's the only time it's ever happened, after we had turned up to the tournament, they cancelled it, which fucking sucks. But
Oh.
I forgot that I had taken a bunch of like launchers and like gear for him, like to borrow and stuff. So it was all still in like my bag that I normally take. And I was doing battles with Nanashi. I can't remember if it was on stream or not. But I really needed a fucking winder launcher for a minute. And for the life of me, I couldn't remember where the fuck they had all gone from my room. Normally there's always the hold launcher, my Silver Wolf one right there next to me and stuff, like at the stadium stand. No, and I just could not remember. I don't know if I was like mega stoned or just like it was just one of the heat in the room was finally getting to me, but I just could not remember where a single winder launcher was. It was
That's a
pissing me
horrible
off.
combo.
Oh, man. But yeah, the Hasbro stuff,
Unfortunate about the tournament.
mixed bag. Yeah, no, the tournament thing was irritating. I think it was because the organizer wasn't just being straight up with us, to be honest. I think he really wanted to go to a mini four-wheel drive event that was going on north of the island, and he waited
It
until
would not happen here.
I think he just waited until he realized there was probably only going to be like 8 or 9 people turning up for the Beyblade tournament, and was like, nah, I'm just going to go to the mini four-wheel drive. Dude, I'll run the tournament for you. Like, I don't mind just reffing like all the matches and stuff. But
Just give me the golden rod and I'll do it.
I think he just felt embarrassed. Like it's a weird thing here, you know. Like everyone knows what's going on, but for some reason you're keeping up the farce. I don't get it.
Did he cancel it like as you just got there? An hour before?
Nanashi and I had already been there for like I don't know, like 30 minutes, just doing battles and stuff, and then
he canceled while you were there?
he turned up and said, "Sorry, I've got to cancel it," and I tried calling, but I just messaged the guy. Sure, I was like, "Dude, sorry, he's just turned up and said he's cancelled it," and they're like, "Oh, we've just gotten off our bus. We'll be there in 2 seconds," and then they like pulled up. So I was like, we just hung out for a bit and just chatted. You know, me and Nanashi were still just doing some battles. I wanted to test out some stuff, but it was kind of like, I guess, you know, when you've got plans and all that shit, it just kind of like knocks the wind out your sails. And I feel bad for them because they just spent like 40 minutes traveling down from north of the island to do the tournament. They still had a lot to do. They're in a Phuket Old Town. There's plenty for people on holiday to do there. But, you know, when it's your plans just kind of get taken away from you all of a sudden.
Right.
Sucky.
Man,
You know what? You know what they could have benefited from having is a clash and carry case, so they could have battled on the go. Super segues on this.
Oh yeah, top tier segues. Oh god, I really want one. It looks like a lot of fun, but
I kind of want one. I think the rails look like they actually work on this one. Like, I think the rails look like they look smoother than the Hasbro stadium, like the regular one.
nothing but a ball of negative energy because I think it still looks like shit.
I know.
That's fair.
It-
You know, you're
It
entitled
has
to
the
your
better.
opinion.
It has better rails, yeah, but it's still essentially a bucket stadium. It's still dangerous. It's exactly the same, except now with better rails.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that annoys me is can't they just keep it asymmetrical? Like, I don't get why they have pockets at the back as
Oh
well.
my god,
Like,
that's
like
really
a-
yes.
because it just defeats
like a
the
US
purpose of the gimmick.
Version of a pocket stadium.
You know, like that design-wise, that annoys me. The whole shroud thing and stuff, I get. It's just like a crappy like kids product. They're not expecting kids to really be eating it. Like, and if it's adults playing with it, then I mean, at your own risk, you
That's
know.
true, yeah.
I was playing Beyblade with my son
Visual watches
earlier,
only.
and I was like, "Bro, get
Kids,
your
you're
fucking
right.
face away from the stadium! What you doing, mate?" Like, just
You're
launches
right.
it in there, and then like slowly lowers his face closer and closer. So it's like,
It's so alluring.
yeah, I
the
know.
blades.
Yeah, I forgot. Hasbro's marketing is just towards children and no one else because they just don't believe that others play it, apparently.
Yeah, well, I mean, if they're releasing like a Clash and Carry for adults, it would be a bit more robust, and it probably wouldn't be something you put on the floor. It'd probably have like a stand that drops out from underneath it.
Nah,
Like,
knowing them, it'd probably be garbage.
oh well, yeah, because they would never make something like that for an adult anyway.
No.
As Hasbro, like, I don't know, they're not
I don't know,
even.
I just wish they would change it a little bit for Beyblade, at least on how they market to, like their products. Again, like Hasbro overall, they have to market towards children.
They don't
I
have
don't know,
to, but they like, aren't they like just going off making toys completely now, and they're just going down the
yeah,
collectibles and like I don't know, like fucking equivalent of NFTs route, I guess. Like they're just gonna be doing
yeah,
like card games and shit now.
It's lucrative
yeah.
stuff
But
though.
I just wanted them to follow the like what Takara does because they do it fine.
Yeah, but Japan fucking
Yeah.
loves toys.
True. Like it's they market it well to like adults and kids as well.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But like, there's, yeah,
It's just a different perception. I think mainly like in the West, I'd love it if you just sat at home, like you did everything from your computer and you just ordered everything to your front door. Like that's kind of like the way things are marketed, like there. Whereas in Japan, they're like, I mean, they're running out of babies, so they need to like encourage you to meet each other at Beyblade Park and the Shibuya like training center and stuff. So they're trying to get adults to copulate and breed through Beyblade, you know.
right.
Yeah, that's exactly what's happening. Yeah, you nailed it.
Damn, I never thought about
I was,
that.
I was gonna say, have we all had a chance to try out Underneedle now? We've all got it in
I've
our hands.
had a lot of time with Underneedle.
I still haven't done anything since
Yeah.
since I opened it.
I'm
Just looked
hesitant.
today and went, "Ooh, this is small."
I'm hesitant to like just outright say it, but is it better than Ball? It might be. It seems to just beat like
It's got good.
Rod
Yeah.
960 Underneedle just seems to beat so many meta combos right now. Like for me, like I know I did the testing stream. I've done my own separate testing. I've got some like testing on like video that I haven't shared because I like just from messing around with Underneedle. I wasn't originally going to make a video on it, but I've recorded enough stuff now. I'm like, shit, this might be real, you know? Like I think it definitely, yeah, you know, like, and that's cool because defense needed a bit that had stamina as well, you know, like, because otherwise it just doesn't work. Otherwise, you've got like maybe 3, 4 contacts before you start to like wobble too much and then you're just dead. Whereas Underneedle seems to do a lot more than that. I thought that stuff might like get the beat down and the down smash on it too much, but I'm liking it, man. And it's not too bad to launch with. Like you can launch with a bit more power than I launch with more power when I use Underneedle than I do on Ball. Like
Oh yeah, same.
I have to dial it back a little bit with Ball to like it's like it travels easier to like get your reverse X's and shit like that in your drops or whatever wherever you're placing it. But with Underneedle, you can put a little bit more like launching arm movement into it as well as like rip power and get it to travel like pretty smoothly still.
Yeah, I've been doing it with like a really sharp angle
Yeah.
and like it like to really kind of like help it get underneath blades. The beginning to see
Yeah,
if
well
it take it out.
that kind of
It
rush
still has the
launch is
stamina
like
though. Yeah.
that is like a legit like evergreen kind of like defensive type like strategy, like launch hard in at like a tilt and get like counter hits from the center of the stadium like early on for like a KO or something. Like that's like one of my favorite ways to play defense. That's how I was trying to play high needle when it came out, but it is just a burst risk. Like the best high needle combo we had at the moment was pairing up with like 580. Like, can you imagine that now? Like turning up with like high needle 580 for like an event now. Like that'd be wild.
Yeah, Mim. Remember, I told you last time. Mim does that.
On rod, right?
Yeah, he has it on rod, but I'm pretty sure I talked to him the other day. I think he switched it up. I think he's seen the light.
He's come to the underside.
Yeah, he's on 480 now. Look at now. But yeah, like that.
Yeah, I'm gonna be running. As I was saying, yeah, I'm thinking of taking rod out of my deck completely because I mean, like, because like I was doing Silver Wolf 960 Underneedle, and it was pretty consistently beating like rod on ball for me. And like, oh, okay, well, if you can beat rod on ball, then yeah, fair enough. I don't want to wizard rod on my deck then.
It seems counterintuitive, but have you tried, if you're putting Wolf on Underneath, have you tried putting it on like an 80 height Ratchet, like 980?
Yeah, I did. It wasn't performing as well
No.
for me.
Ah, damn.
The
That's a
higher
shame.
heights, like I got the which is like you think, oh, I want to still want to kind of use the disc
Yeah.
free spinning disc mechanic thing, but it was just working much better and had much better stamina with the lower height. So I was like, all right, well,
I mean,
that's what the testing
Wolf's
says. So
like the Metal Blade's got a great shape as well because it hits so many good counter hits. Like
exactly, yeah.
it's like tank. So like just putting that low down like in the center of the stadium isn't like a bad idea either. It's just that free spinning sub AR is very handy for tanking a lot of shots, I guess, is the only real thing I'm thinking about there. But yeah, I mean, Wolf in my testing stream with it, because we did it on 960 under needle as well. I think, what was it? I think we said number one was Wizard Rod, number two, I think, was
Right,
Silver Wolf, and then maybe Nightmare behind that. And then all the random shit kind of did like hit and miss from that point, if I'm remembering correctly. The one thing, Juice,
yeah.
that you suggested that I played with it a little bit earlier, but it's just like random games with
Pegasus?
my kid. Yeah, Pegasus. It's on
Okay,
Underneedle.
Pegasus,
I was gonna ask if you've done that with Huge.
A little bit, and I mean, it's got great stamina and it hits better counter hits than Rod does. So I've got I've got a tournament tomorrow, and I'm split between playing a few different decks because it's purely for like content's sake, like not just to like go out there and win. I
Is this
could
like a casual tournament?
It's like a minor, so like if you win it or whatever position you come, like the points do accumulate at the end of the year towards an overall league, but like it's cool, bro. I've gone to like higher stakes tournaments with goofier decks. Like
Okay, yeah,
it's
that's
fine. Like um but I'm tempted to run like my Goon Rod Phoenix slash Aero Pegasus deck instead, so I can film the footage of me actually using that deck for a launch video. But I'm also tempted to either run a deck with Rod 960 Underneedle or Pegasus 960 Underneedle purely for the sake of like testing Underneedle and like having a video on that, because I already know that Rod on Underneedle performs really well. I already know that. But I haven't tested it like tournament style, like under pressure against everyone's random combos and their launch strategies, just against the Nashi. But I am interested in testing. Oh yeah, the Nashi will be there. But I'm also interested in test. Oh, that's what I could do. I could ask Nanashi if he wants to run Pegasus on Underneedle, and I could run Rod on Underneedle.
He loves Pegasus, right?
Yeah, but he loves playing it on fucking level. He's probably just gonna ask me if he can borrow Pegasus 360 level again. I'm not gonna.
No, you can have it only if you do my testing.
You can have Pegasus. Hand him Pegasus, but put an Underneedle on it, and he has no choice.
Yeah, well, if the thing is,
it's an alternative level.
yeah, if I put it on 960 Underneedle, it means he would have to change his Goon combo because he runs Goon 960E in his deck. So I don't know what he would want to change it to, because I don't think he'd be very keen on 970 for it. Because
stick it on 560.
He's got 560. He's got 160, but he likes 160 on Phoenix. He's playing Phoenix 160 Rush at the moment, and he's actually doing really well with it. It's quite frustrating, actually. Like, that's a combo that, since it first became popular, has just at really memorable moments for me just beaten me in like matches where I'm like, damn, like G2 finals, like top placements for G2s, and like things like Nanashi the other week or something like that. It's like Phoenix 160 Rush. Just if I come up against that combo and it's like 3-3 in like finals or something, it's like, ah, fuck, I'm losing this round. Guaranteed loss. Yeah, I mean, I could ask him to do Pegasus on Underneedle, and I could do Rod on Underneedle, and for science, we could find out if defense is back, because other than like some launches and matches with my kid, with his like random combos he made earlier today, I've not really tested Pegasus on Underneedle. But I
You
could
should just do an all defense deck. You know, get Underneedle out there, Bound Spike, Hexa.
Bounce
I
Spike.
think
I
that
hadn't
could be
even
fun.
thought about Bounce Spike
Needle.
combos. Dot, I love.
Yeah, you
I
go
really
circle,
like Dot.
apparently.
But I mean, the only blade that works with defense bits at the moment that we know for sure is Wizard Rod. Like, none of the defense blades actually did well with like defense bits.
Nightmare was okay, wasn't it, though?
Nightmare is okay, but it's not a defensive blade. It's like a balanced like attack blade for sure. It does very well at that, I think.
The irony that like most of the good defense blades just are better as attackers.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been told Golem on 360 Underneedle is very good.
I've been playing Golem on 360 point or like low rush and stuff. It was a lot of fun. But
as an attacker, yeah.
Yeah. Man, I really like Golem. He's really cool. He's just like, he's fun. He's a fun Beyblade. He's not like a meta pick, I don't think, but he's a lot of fun.
Yeah,
I want to use it a bit more. Yeah. Oh, I was gonna say I'm also going to a tournament tomorrow,
Ooh.
and I'm not using the word playing because I still don't know. It's that same one I went to last time.
He's
where
queuing
it was
up for a
like,
tournament tomorrow.
I'm queuing up for a tournament tomorrow. Yeah. Fingers crossed I actually get to play this time. Otherwise, you know,
Man,
just
I hope so.
enjoy some
I
very
hope
quick
so.
battles.
I really hope you do.
The goal is to win one match. That's my
your
year
current
goal.
carry case would work wonders if you're waiting in line. You can just play while you're waiting.
You know, because that was the thing last time. Because I didn't get in, and I was like, I wish I just had a stadium with me that I could play with.
Yeah.
Like, that would be great.
Exactly.
But it is
I
rather
mean, if you're able to get your hands
no.
on one and get video of you doing matches with the Clash and Carry in Japan between like tournament matches or something, that would be very dope. I think that'd be very cool vibes.
I definitely intend on doing that when I pick one up in the future. Yeah, I probably won't get one until I go back to the UK later this year.
Yeah.
But I think that would be fun to do, like just walking around with a Clash and Carry.
Yeah. I'm gonna try and get one. It's a shame because my dad arrived at the end of last week. There wasn't enough time to like get one to him to like bring over with him. But there is a good chance that maybe end of March my mum might be coming out here. So that gives me enough time to get one to her. Like, because I don't want to have to like get it shipped out here. Like, just if someone's coming over, they can bring it with them, kind of thing. Like, I'm not shipping one from the UK. That's too much. I'll probably be waiting for as long as it takes them to get here anyway. So
I'm looking. I don't think there's not much else that's come out for like.
No, we just got a Shelter Drake coming out next week, and Koro as well.
Yeah, there's not really any hype for Shelter, is there? I think.
Do you reckon? Do you guys reckon it's going to be the last BX release?
No, I'm pretty sure there's more.
No, I know people are kind of like of the opinion that it's going to be like BX, then UX, and then now that CX is coming off, they're going to drop the BX line. I think they're just going to keep all of them throughout. Like, my guess would be that they just keep all of them throughout the lifespan of the like X generation. Like, they'll just add more different types of line to it because
I hope so.
I'm hoping that because we were all worried because of how good like Rod was and also like Buster was when it came out, that UX just spelt the end for BX. But we've seen BX bays still competing at the top of the meta, like Phoenix and Tyranno Beat and Dragoon, with UX releases, and also we've seen the BX releases get like upgrades, like mold updates and stuff like that. So I
true.
am hoping that CX gives us like some cool gimmicks, some cool new stuff, but comparatively is still of the same kind of power level as UX and BX, because like I'm sure, like, I don't know, the new Drowned Buster or something we get from CX will probably be like the most insane, amazing attack blade or something like that we get, but it won't be so overwhelming that there won't be like a future BX release that could be as good or better than it, you know? So I think we'll probably get more line. What, we're 2 years in now, and this is our third type of BX, UX, CX. So maybe in like, I don't know, another 6 months to a year, we'll get DX and YX and everything else.
The XX.
Double X, and so
I could definitely see DX being the next one.
that could be cool. DX. I only thought about Degeneration X.
Oh, I like say just like deluxe, right?
Deluxe X. It's just you get two metal blades. That's what they call it when they start doing that. Metal ratchets, yeah. Like the outer bit becomes metal. You get like a metal outer one, you get a metal inner one, then you get a full metal ratchet version. They got loads they can do still. Loads they can do
Metal
still.
cores.
And we'll all fucking pay for it. I always thought, because the bits are like hollow in the shaft. Like if TT just released an official little heavy metal core that just drops and slots into that bit, people would just buy that because it just adds
Oh, little metal weight.
just like 5 grams
You-
of metal. Like, and people were like, oh fuck yeah.
You just
Like,
want to. All right.
Well, there was one guy that made these little weight things for the back of 10 days. I remember he was putting it in Drigger, and like, you know how Drigger has like these little gaps in it?
Yeah.
Underneath it, he was putting the metal bits into there.
Yeah.
I don't know how much it added to it or how much it would help it, because it was really centered right in the center, so it probably wouldn't have done much, but
Back of 10 shoot bays are so
something like
light,
that would be
even with the
cool.
heavy metal core and stuff in them. They're so light. If you get 40 grams out of a plastic gen bay, it's heavy. That's a heavy plastic gen combo right there, 40 grams. That's engine gear
Definitely.
bases and like super wide attack ring and like 10 heavy weight disc, everything to make it 40 grams.
I can't remember. I do have something to bring up, because me and Sapphire were talking last night, but I don't remember everything we were talking about, which is the problem. But I just wanted to ask you to see what your opinion was. So, Baymac uploaded something. I can't. Was it on his YouTube Shorts yet, or no?
This is YouTube Shorts. Yeah, it's there too.
Well, on there, he uploaded a clip of he knocked. So his Phoenix goes into the over pocket, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the opponent's Bay does an extreme dash and self KOs. And then his Phoenix comes back into the stadium, but it's not on its bit. It's flat on its top, face down.
So it's not spinning.
So your
I'll-
opinion is it's not coming back into play.
So it flopped. All right.
As it when it
For
comes
everyone
back in,
listening,
it's
I'm
down.
about to view the video.
My opinion was that that would count because it was still spinning when it came out of the pocket.
But my opinion was it was an over finish for the other guy, not an extreme finish, because they counted this as an extreme finish. I thought since the Bay is not spinning.
It was spinning. It wasn't spinning on its.
Yeah.
It's spinning, but it's an interesting one because so like if it was a tournament here, let me try and figure it out as we go. So what makes a match legal here is both bits hit the stadium floor. We don't need like contact between the blades. I don't know what rules they were playing for that and stuff, but
Right, it's different everywhere. That's what I got to as well.
so they both hit. He goes into the pocket. whilst he's in the pocket. We would also, I don't think it was longer than that, just from that short, but just to know the exact times. Here, you count to 4. So if a bay, like say, went into a pocket or it like was spinning around the top of the stadium hole or something, it jumped out, was spinning on there, something like that, you would count to 4, and after 4, it would either then be a finish or a foul, depending on what the scenario was. So you can't just spin in the pocket forever and then suddenly jump out. It is to a count of 4 that you've got to get out of there. Because after 4 seconds, it would count as being an over finish or an extreme or whatever. So they probably weren't in there for the 4 seconds. When it jumps out, though, so it jumps out after they've gone out the extreme pocket, and it's on its blade. It's not spinning on its bit at all. But it did end up in the stadium within time, so it definitely couldn't count as an overfinish because it didn't meet the requirements to be an overfinish. It wasn't in the pocket for more than 4 seconds, and it didn't stop spinning and stay in the pocket. So it did come back out.
It could be a spin finish.
It could be a spin finish, but for it to be a spin finish, it means that the only reason it technically wins is because it knocked the what was it, Pegasus, was it, into the overfinish pocket first before it went into the extreme pocket. But it had got, like, that would only count if it was winning by overfinish, because you don't get priority from a spin finish when you like self extreme because you had previously knocked them into an overfinish pocket. So I think it would count as an extreme finish, going by that, because they couldn't win. They've forfeited their right to a win by spin finish because they would only have won by over. If they had stayed in the stadium, then yeah, it'd be a spin finish. But because they went out, they had to win by over finish at that point. Otherwise, it would negate their kind of like free pass at self extreming for knocking them into the overfinish pocket first. But because they jumped out, regardless of it being on top of their blade and not spinning properly or anything afterwards, they still ended up in the stadium. And because the other bay couldn't win by spin finish, there's no possible way for them to win by spin finish because they've just gone out the extreme pocket, it would have to be the Pegasus in the center that won by extreme finish. Well, there you go. Case closed, everyone.
Yeah. What do you... No counter arguments, Juice.
Nah, I believe it's just not back in play because it's not on its bit.
But I mean, like, if
I guess just coming back into the stadium itself is back in play.
Yeah, because I mean, you can't say that it got overfinished, can you? You can't say that the Pegasus got overfinished.
Definitely not an overfinish though, because it didn't stay in the pocket.
Yeah, like whether 4 seconds or just indefinitely, it didn't stay in the pocket, so it can't be an overfinish. And the bay that went out the extreme pocket can't win by spin finish because it's not in the stadium.
I see your point.
And I understand your point that because it's not spinning on its bit, like that it doesn't seem to enter. But that's not the requirements for coming back into the stadium. That's the requirements like over here for first entering the stadium. You have to land on your bit, but there's no rule where you have to finish the match on your bit for it to like count as you being in the stadium.
That's fucking crazy. That's wild.
Yeah, so I completely understand why you would be thinking that, because I had to. I mean, we just heard out loud my fucking brain trying to figure that one out. But
well, yeah, like I said, it just shows a lot of places just have different rulings. Because here, I'm fairly certain we wouldn't have counted that. But
I mean, I think if you're not gonna give it as an extreme finish for the Pegasus, you would have to just do it as a redo. But even a redo, I think, kind of feels bad because that Pegasus went through a lot to get back in that stadium.
I'm pretty sure that's a Phoenix there, isn't it? Yeah, it's a Phoenix came back in.
It's Phoenix that came back in, is it? Okay, yeah. But
it doesn't matter. It's still.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think. Did you say that they ended up ruling it as an extreme finish in the end?
Yeah, he got the 3 points.
I think I would say that's the right call. Like, I don't know what rules they were playing by, but from my own metrics, that's what I would call it.
Alright.
Oh,
Well,
yeah. This is a bit.
what do you
Whoa.
call? What about you would call bays coming out from the top a redo?
Yeah, so if they come out at the top of the stadium, that's a foul.
Yep.
So it would be a redo, but also whoever's bay came out at the top of the stadium, that would be one foul marked on them. So if they fouled again, they would lose a point.
I was saying the Baymac that some places here and in America as well that I've seen do 2 points for coming out of the top, which is delusional. But then he was like, yeah, I've seen people do 3. I was like, what?
I've seen people
What are
count
they
it as an
doing?
extreme finish.
I remember a few months
It's
ago.
out of the stadium, so I can see the logic.
I understand
I
it,
remember-
but it's like pretty blatant in the rules that you get with the stadium what it is. So like, if people want to play that, that's cool. It's just it just makes the game different because it's like you're aiming to do a different type of finish, then, aren't you? And you're essentially also then playing to just fucking break your opponent's bay because you're trying to launch it to somewhere there's nowhere designed for it to land. I don't know. It's a bit of a weird rule for this generation, you know? Like, because I'm assuming in Burst, they had shrouds on their stadiums, but it didn't count as a KO if it came flying out the top of the shroud, right?
No, it didn't.
I mean, did they even have attack
I
types to
don't know.
do that in Burst? I don't know. I thought it was all.
No, it's just having a meta.
Yeah, I mean, it's cool, it's dramatic, and it's funny when it happens, but I don't know, if someone was trying to win matches against me like that, I'd be like, dude, these things cost money, asshole. Everyone's just panicking around the tournament floor and stuff when their like bay goes flying out the top. It's like, oh shit, my low rush, my point bit's gonna get fucking busted up, you know? Like, oh shit, I
It's
just
worse
put a
if you're
fresh
playing
ball on
outside
it.
and it's some gravel.
In Thailand, they've literally never heard of fucking carpets, so everything's like hard, kind of like tiled floors here anyway. So yeah, it's not the best.
I feel like a tiled floor would be a better outcome than.
I don't know. It
I don't know.
just, mate, smashes. The sound of the
Yeah.
fucking metal hitting
gonna
it
smash
sometimes
either
as well
way, yeah,
gives
you're
me
right.
like anxiety.
Can imagine.
I remember a few months ago, someone was in my server was saying at their tournaments, the hosts, the way they would rule this, in battles sometimes the bays are falling out the side of the shroud, and they were counting points for that as well, and he was very confused and he kept trying to counter it, and they told him off about it. So he came to me and asking like, what the hell is going on? And it sounds delusional.
That's
They
like,
would even count that as
but
points.
they're using like a fake stadium because like I think
No,
that's
they were
maybe
using
happened once
TT.
to me in a
Right. But
real
I've never
stadium.
seen it happen at all. Like, I don't know what they did to that shroud unless they just bent it
Maybe they
out so
put it
that
on
it could
like
fall
back to
out.
front or something, and it was like higher up than
Oh
it was
my
meant to
god.
be. I wouldn't be surprised, man. Like, but yeah, that's a crazy ruling. Like that's really weird. I don't know. I think if I'm being blatantly honest, I think rules like that kind of get made about from more like old heads like me, or maybe like some Metal Fight kids who like are used to like the old like stadium rules, and if it get KO'd and that's that, and we just played and whatever.
It is
So
what it is.
I get that. I don't mind playing that kind of thing, but now that I'm so engrossed in the actual competitive play of the game and organized competitive play, and have like had a taste of like wanting to go to like the more like the international stuff and not just the nationals, like I just play actual formats now. Like, you know, like that's what I'm more fussed about. And I've just probably, it'd be very few and far between that I'd like be going to like these random ones if I had the option of going to something that I don't know would serve me more competitively. But not to say that you can't just have fun playing the game how you want to. But like I'm just like, ah man, I wish people were running like loads of like legit tournaments and it was just more widely spread like that, you know. This is off topic for Beyblade, but just because I've only really spoken to a handful of people about it. I know you haven't been watching it, Sapphire, so I'm not trying to not involve you in the conversation. But how up to date are you with Dimer right now, Juice?
That is so fucking trippy because I was thinking about it because that's all we were watching it last night and we were talking about it for a little bit. I got up to episode 10, but I
Okay.
know I've seen like from Twitter everything that happens afterwards, so I'm up to date pretty much.
Okay. So have you seen the trailer for the
Wait.
final few episodes?
It was just a recap of what we've already seen. Nothing was new.
No. With like they haven't had enough with the Goma stuff and the fight.
That happened in the latest episode.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I see you're all up to date and everything.
Oh yeah.
All right. Yeah.
Though I don't know how it gets to there.
Oh,
I
okay.
haven't I've seen bits,
Yeah.
but I don't know how Goma does this. I don't know why.
I mean,
I realized he has that eye thing, right?
yes.
And I'm like, oh, that's what Hibbis has on his belt. And then I put it together, I was like, oh, that's the eye he's looking for.
Yeah.
He found it in the forest.
Yeah. No, that is all correct. That is how he gets it. But I mean, it is legitimately set up, and it's nice to hear that you pieced it together by seeing that, because it did feel like his acquiring of it was maybe a bit rushed all of a sudden, but it's a bit too convenient. But it's Dragon Ball. Like, there are certain things that just need to like happen so the story can progress. So that was one of them.
I didn't put it together at the time because when I watched the episode, and then when I was done in Japan, like, because I was looking at photos as the episode was happening, of people tweeting out photos, I seen the eye thing, and only then it's like, oh, that's the eye thing. Because like I remember at the start they were talking about this third eye that he wanted to wish for, and then Hibbis just has it on his belt, and I thought that was a little goofy, and it's like looking around on its own. But yeah, putting it together was like big brain.
Yeah.
But I don't know how it happens.
I'm not sure what the final kind of like big hurrah is going to be, because I assumed early on that it was going to be a new fusion thing because he's got the fusion bugs, and I thought 3 people were going to fuse, like, and because of the parties they've kind of broken up into for the fight, I was like, oh, maybe it's some Goku, Vegeta, and Piccolo that fuse together, because maybe you need something from the demon realm for it to work. But
yeah, the bugs split into 2, and it's like one person eats half of it.
Yeah,
I think they're gonna do that still. There's still 3 episodes left.
Yeah, it's probably going to be a fusion. But I mean, there's also Who and Do that could potentially fuse.
Yes.
Which is something kind of thought about when they made. It was the second one was Do, wasn't it? Yeah, when they made Do, I thought it's probably going to be some kind of absorption Majin Buu type thing happen between them here.
But isn't the first one just a gag character? He's not strong at all.
He's smart. He's got the strategy, and he's still like durable and whatever. He's just not got the same battle power. But I guess that's everything. Like,
what the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah. Sorry, Sapphire. Just completely spoiled.
I'm gonna watch it soon. I watched like Juice and I watched a bit yesterday. I think we watched like episode 7 and 8 together, or 6 and 7, sorry. And I was like, all right. And I was like, what's happening now, Juice? Who are these characters? Where are they going? Why are they talking? Why is he a demon? And I was like, I'm just gonna go back and watch it. It's on my list of things to do. I like to like binge watch it, so I'm just like waiting for it to build, and then I'll just.
I'm a big binge watcher. I've recently, just in like this last week, I just watched all 4 seasons of Overlord again, just because I was like, I haven't watched Overlord for a few years.
I haven't watched that in a minute. Yeah. Oh my days.
I don't even know what that is.
Overlord, like the isekai that all other isekais wish they were. So yeah, I think it's like continued on from where season 4 left off, and as a thing, Momonga or Ainz-Ugal has to take on Demirg's. What's his fake identity again?
I forget.
Gatamouth or.
It's been a long time since I've seen
Gadabout or something, whatever.
I don't remember where it left off.
Whatever his little fake persona was that he always attacks Riestes with. But yeah, I think it's about that. Them just setting up like a little fake battle or something between themselves. So I definitely want to watch that, especially if it's like as new as I think it is, because the animation is probably going to be sick.
The Wizard of Oz at Nezukai.
She's not like transported into someone else's body, is she? She's just herself in that world.
What about the Chronicles of Narnia? Are they also themselves?
Well, they can choose to drop in and out when they want, really, can't they?
What about
Sword Art
Monster
Online.
Rancher?
A
Season
Monster
2.
Ranch. Oh yeah, again, because Monster Rancher kind of is, but he's still himself. But at least then he's like trapped in like a digital kind of like a Monster Rancher world.
Is Digimon an isekai?
Digimon would,
Yes.
yeah, but
Great.
I mean, yeah, like at least for the first season. I don't know.
Is Super Mario Bros. Also an isekai?
What, the new movie or?
Yeah, yeah, the movie is an
Well, I
isekai.
feel
Like he
like
gets transported to a world. It's a video game.
it's like weird because like
Does?
I feel like isekais really are when you're transported into a new world but not in your own like body, whereas if you're going to a new world in your body it's more like a multiverse kind of thing, you know. Like I feel like with isekais like, the key factor is like, oh, I was an office worker but now I keep
Drop
shagging
to
everything in a
pay me a
dungeon
visit.
because I'm a high powered whatever, or now I'm a slime, or now I'm like undead lich, you know. Like I feel like it's that. Well, I think there's one where it gets reincarnated as like a sword or something, you know. Like I feel like that's like an isekai, whereas if you just retain your own like self when you go there, it's more like some multiverse shenanigans.
Spirited Away an isekai.
Oh, well, she eats
Is
the
Attack on Titan a mech anime?
food to make her blend in with the spirits, but she does also lose a lot of her memory when she agrees to work there, so she's not quite herself, is she? But no, I don't think that counts as an isekai. Sorry.
That's all my isekai questions.
Sorry. Did you say something after that, Juice?
Yeah, I said is Attack on Titan a mecha anime?
Yes. Flesh mech. I also consider myself to be a flesh mech.
We used to
Flesh
call
mech.
my wife a little meat mech when she was pregnant.
What? That's disgusting.
Yeah, little meat mech.
That is terrible. What is wrong with you?
I'm never gonna forget that. Can we end on that note?
Jesus.
I just cut there.
Wait.